Nothing. Good. Now, before today, how long were you hanging on to this feeling of guilt?
Maybe like 6 or 7 years.
6 or 7 years?
Mm.
Okay. So 6 or 7 years,
Could be longer.
It could be, so it could at least be 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
And now you managed to wipe it out in about 5 minutes.
Okay.
How does that make you feel?
Cool.
Very cool. Very nice. So recap this to me. How was that a problem?
I think it's just the underappreciated. It made me feel underappreciated by him, but also it annoys me that I don't think we have a good communication style because I just don't think he communicates at all.
You said the biggest challenge is that you feel underappreciated by him.
Yeah.
And it's mainly because when you guys communicate, his responses are usually silent, which makes you feel like there's a lack of communication.
Yeah, but it's not even like he's silent. He just doesn't speak. He doesn't tell me really what his day plan is. I don't really need to know his plans in terms of the details. He has he's going out to dinner with some colleagues, and I wouldn't have known if I wasn't scheduling a delivery for
Oh, okay.
He'll tell me maybe the day of, and I'm supposed to plan my schedule around his, which I get, and I don't mind doing because a lot of the times when he goes out, it's because he's doing business or he's doing work, which is fine. But help me plan my week or day more easily, rather than because I'm going out. It feels like he is just living like he's a bachelor. I just kind of have to fit in around him. Mm-hmm. Because that's where all the dishes come in play. He'll buy groceries, buy something, and he'll leave the bag that came in on the counter, and it will sit there. It will sit there until I put it away.
When you think about the emotion attached to all this talk that you're giving me, all this feedback, usually it falls into one of the 5 negative emotional pains, and that's either hurt or sadness, and it could be more than one. I'll write them all out. Anger, fear, or guilt. Now, there's obviously variations of these. Like this one girl told me one time, she's going through this thing, and she's like, I don't feel anger, I feel rage. But rage is just a prolonged expression of anger. Anger is when it's initially there. Rage is when it's been there for a while, and at worst, it keeps happening. So that's an example. So you might have something associated to one of these feelings. If you had to pick one of these, and you think about all the stuff that makes you feel negative.
I feel it's anger.
Anger. Okay.
But it's more like frustration.
Okay. So if you had to think of frustration.
So I feel like frustration is closer to anger.
Yeah. And you know, the easiest way to do it is just go down the list. So when you think about frustration, does that feel like hurt? And you'll say yes or no.
No.
Does it feel like sadness?
No.
Does it feel like fear? Does it feel like guilt? Like you're feeling the guilt?
Maybe a little bit. I feel a little guilty.
Okay.
I feel a little guilty. Partly, I think because
I'm really glad that you can get in touch with what those feelings are, because in order to make anything good, in order to make things work, one of the biggest things I've had to learn is before I can make that change in somebody else or influence someone else to change, I got to make sure that I've changed, in the sense that I've only learned this in the past few years. Part of what makes two people work well and communicate well I used to think it was words, but words only represent 7% of the actual transition between two people that are speaking. 40% is from body language, and body language carries an energy. The energy that we carry actually has an ability to transition to someone else. Some people don't believe that because it's relatively new. I've learned to adopt the belief because when I use it, things work better for me. And I share that with other people because I want it to work better for them too. So whether you believe it or not, it might be worth at least playing with that idea. So that way we can focus on the way you feel, make that switch to something better. Then when you feel better about yourself first, as you were saying earlier, then when you communicate with him, when he does things that would normally set you off, if it doesn't set you off, believe it or not, over time, it can actually influence them to want to shift and communicate with you better. I learned that personally with my own girlfriend. She came from relationships where, just like me, years ago, they're usually either violent or very aggressive or very demeaning, bottom line negative. Before I got involved with her, I had to learn how to repair my own emotions. So when I got into those drastic conversations that were heavy, I would not normally bring my heavy to the bargaining table. The result was I had to go through a year with her where it was yelling, screaming, okay, we're gonna break up. Okay, we are broken up for 5 minutes. But like the threat of leaving each other. And instead of me bringing the old me, where I'd be like, okay, well, whatever that are. Instead, I was able to bring a calmness that I had to learn. What I did is one day, make a long story short, a year later, we're in the car, and she looks at me and she says, okay, you know what? I think I'm ready to do this. Completely out of nowhere. Like, it was a version of that. Do something. And I looked at her like, do what? What are you talking about? We're just about to leave and go and have dinner. I thought we were doing something already. And she goes, no, I want to go and learn what you did. And I was still confused. And she said, no, what I mean is that I've noticed that every time we fight, you don't yell at me. Or if you yell, you raise your voice a little, but it's not angry. And you're really calm when you handle me. And I really like that about you. And she said, I like that about you so much that I want to learn how to do that too. Because there's people in my life that set me off, and I get set off and I fire back at them, but nothing ever gets good. Everything's either the same or it gets worse, and we pretend it's the same. She's like, I don't want to do that anymore. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
And that's what triggered her to want to go and learn how to improve too. So now, fast forward to 9 years later, our conversations are very rarely do we yell, rarely do we blame each other. Now it's usually like if she's mad, before she'd be like, ah! Now she's just like, and then she goes silent, which is like aggravating for me because I want to talk it out. But I've learned that some people are, this one's important. Some people, when they process problems, like imagine that this is time. And imagine that this is, everything's good, and then during this time, it's like problem. Usually the problem is about something in the past, right? A lot of times when it's a problem, digital thinkers, there's digital analog. Digital thinkers go, no. You did this, and I did that. Digital people go, let's go back to that time. Oh yeah, this. Okay, well, then now we can fix it. Now we can talk about it, right? Analog thinkers. Yeah, you did this, we did that. Quiet. They're quiet because now their brain is going, well, let's go back to this day and this day and this day and this day and this day. And they just keep rewinding it like a cassette tape going backwards until eventually they get there. And once they get there, then they start the process of analyzing. That's why some people are really quiet, because their brains are analog. And his might be even more analog because nobody ever taught him to think like a digital thinker. He might be digital at work, but at home he might be very analog. My girlfriend's like that. I'm like that with certain people. With my girlfriend, I'm digital. With my sister, my mom, very analog. Very, extremely. Like, I'm freaking slow to think because I'm so, like, I've noticed that with them, I'm so overly cautious and I have to double, triple check everything that my brain is literally going back in time to scene to scene to scene whenever they complain about something. Because my brain's constantly going, well, is that true? Is that accurate? Did I actually say that, think that, do that? I don't know, right? Mm-hmm. So he might be going through that, which means for you that on the outside, it just might look like he's being silent, which is very true. He is. But what you may not know is that he actually has to process way slower than you do, which means that you might have that time by not knowing, which is not your fault, no one ever showed you, that one of these emotions will build up. So by the time he is even remotely close to talking about it, if this is you, your emotion might have gone from here to down to here. So now he's not dealing with the original problem with you. He's having to face that plus whatever you built up emotionally down here during that time process. Which means that in order for you to be effective with him, whatever negative emotions you've built that might have lowered you to here, we just have to mojo it so we can get you back up to here. So up to here is not positive, it's not negative, it's somewhere along the line of neutral.
Okay.
And that's all we're going to do today.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Cool. Wait, between the three, which one is the one that hits you the most?
Hits me the most.
Gives you the biggest emotional impact negatively.
I feel anger the most.
Then we're going to hit this one first, okay? Let's imagine an open field or an open space, angle, corner, moment. I now want you to look again with your eyes looking straight and down. As you look at that event of anger, how is it different for you now?
It's an event.
Okay. And as you say that, what emotion do you feel?
Ambivalent. Nothing.
Nothing. Okay. Good. Now, see everything that you saw. If there was anything, any sounds, hear everything you heard. Don't forget to look behind you, to your left, to your right, up, down, around the corners. And when you're done, just let me know.
Yep.
Good. So now you're still looking in that first event through your own eyes. And as you see everything you saw and hear everything you heard, tell me, where is that feeling of anger? Is it still there or just gone now?
It's not there.
Okay. Good. Very good. So if it's not there, what is there?
Nothing.
Nothing. Good. Excellent. So now I'm going to go turn on that music in. And while I do, you are going to do the following. Now we're just going to double check real quick. I want you to float back up to the sky. Pick another time in your past, could be the same or different, where you had another experience of anger with, float back into that memory, see what you saw, hear what you heard, and tell me, how is this past memory different?
Irks me a little bit.
Irks you a little bit.
Like, less so than before.
Okay. So what was it before? What is it now?
It's just like a, I don't know, reaction, I guess. Just, it is what it is. I don't know how to explain it.
Okay. And does that have a negative emotion attached to it? Even a little one?
No.
Oh, okay. So what is it that you're experiencing?
Nothing. I don't know. I just... Confusion, I guess? I don't know.
Okay. Good. Confusion is good. Confusion's good in this exercise because it means your mind is rewiring itself. And that's perfect. Go pick another time in your past where you felt some anger with him. See what you saw, hear what you heard, and tell me, is the anger still there or is it gone now?
It's gone.
It's gone. Very nice. Pick another time of anger with him, maybe something more recent. Float back into that memory, see what you saw, hear what you heard, and tell me, how is this past memory different?
Feel anything.
Very good. Very good. Now we're going to test the future real quick and float way into the future, maybe something not too far ahead, something maybe close in the next few days, weeks. Imagine an event where you most likely will be in a situation with him where you most likely would have, before today, experienced some anger. See what you'll see, hear what you'll hear, and tell me how this future event is different.
I don't know. I don't feel angry. I don't feel angry.
Good.
Whatever.
Just whatever. Whatever's better than angry. That's for sure. So is it safe to say that there's no anger there?
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Good. We're now going to move on to sadness. Are you ready? Okay. So now all I want you to do is float back high in the sky, right above this moment. Ask your unconscious mind, what was the earliest, not the biggest, not the baddest, but the earliest, the very first memory of sadness you experienced with?
Okay.
Now, ask your unconscious mind, what's the lesson I'm meant to learn here from this first experience of sadness with him?
He's just having trouble adapting to.
He's having trouble adapting to. Okay.
Or like.
So what? Ask your unconscious mind, what is the purpose of you being aware of that?
I need to be more understanding.
Okay. So if you need to be more understanding, and what is the benefit to you by being more understanding?
It's not me personally. It's not like. It's not about me.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. So if it's not about you, then it is about what?
Him just being uncomfortable.
Okay. Okay. So of him being uncomfortable, what's the benefit to you personally by knowing that it's just about him being uncomfortable?
That he does care. It's just not for me. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. So in knowing that he does care, how does that make you feel? In knowing that he does care.
Happy, I guess.
Happiness. Good. Good. Okay. There you go. Nice. So when you said happiness, ask your unconscious mind, is there a higher or more important emotion in this scenario than happiness? Or is happiness the highest?
Happy's good.
Happy's good. Okay. Is there anything better than good?
Relief, I guess? Is that an emotion?
Can be, yeah. I'm just going to make a note here. So you said happiness is good, but even better is relief, you said, right? So So if you feel relief, what's the emotional word that you would associate to relief?
Calm.
Good. So relief equals calm. And what feelings do you get from feeling calm?
Confident.
Okay. Good. Good. And when you feel confident, the emotion that comes out of you from confidence is
Like happy.
okay. Very good. Good. So I want you to focus on that feeling of happy for a minute. And just allow yourself to feel that. And as you start to feel that feeling of happy, where does that show up in your body? On your face. Nice. Like on your cheeks. Is that cheeks or neck or mouth?
Wow. Face.
Mouth, face. Okay.
Mouth, face.
Good. So your mouth face right there. Nice. Yeah, hang on to that for a second. Perfect. Pay good attention. Pay close attention to that feeling of happy that's on your mouth face. Keep that. That's an awesome place to have it because you use your mouth a lot. I like that. And keep that there. And I want you to, that's right. You got some serious superpowers there, girl. I want you to just, boom, throw it all. That's right. That's right. That's right. Cover the whole darn thing. Now, using your eyes, so you stay where you are, just use your eyes, look straight and down, back into that first event of sadness. And tell me, as you look at it from a distance, how is it different for you now?
Nothing. It's just an event.
Just an event. Okay. Using your superwoman powers, fly down there. And I want you to stand right in the middle of that event that you used to call sadness. Stand right in that event, see what you saw, hear what you heard, and tell me, how is this past memory different?
Don't feel anything anymore.
Don't feel anything. Okay. Good. Good. Now, how many years back was this first event of sadness?
Like 3, I think. 3-ish. Yeah.
3-ish? Okay. Okay, good. And now you're saying that when you look at this event that you used to call sadness, once again, you feel what?
Nothing.
Nothing. Good. Nothing is good. Now let's test this real quick. Go ahead and fly back high in the sky. Float back to a time, another time perhaps, where you felt some sadness with him. Float back into that memory. So you're seeing what you saw, you're hearing what you heard, and now tell me, how was this past memory different?
Nothing.
Nothing. Good. Float back high in the sky. Pick another memory where before today you would have called it sadness with him. See what you saw, hear what you heard, and tell me how this one is different now.
Can't find one.
Can't find one. Okay. Okay. That's good. Well done. Just double checking. Go ahead and check one more time. Any past events? No? Okay, perfect. Wonderful. Shoot into the near future where you think that possibly before today, you might have experienced a situation with him that would cause you to feel some sadness. Float into that future event, see what you'll see, hear what you'll hear, and tell me, how's this future event different for you?
I don't know. Just that he's preoccupied. That's it.
Okay. He's preoccupied. And what emotion do you feel as you say that? Is good. We like We could use more of some of those ehs. Very nice. Very nice. Nothing. Good. Now, before today, how long were you hanging on to this feeling of guilt?
Maybe like 6 or 7 years.
6 or 7 years?
Mm.
Okay. So 6 or 7 years,
Or it could be longer. I
or
don't
could
know.
be, so it could at least 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
And now you managed to wipe it out in about 5 minutes.
Okay.
How does that make you feel?
Cool.
Very cool. Very nice. Float right back up to the sky and come back to this moment, stopping at every event where you felt some guilt with him before. Apply that feeling, spread it like wildfire. When you've hit them all and you're back to now, let me know.
Yeah.
Good. Float back high in the sky. Go pick another time in your past where before today you might have felt some guilt with him. See what you saw, hear what you heard, and tell me, how is this past memory different?
It's okay.
Okay, and what is the feeling you associate with okay?
Oh, sorry.
That's
I mean,
okay.
the feeling is it's okay. It's not my fault.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. What feeling is that?
Relief.
Good. Good. Guy, pick another time with him where before today you remember feeling some guilt.
Mm.
See what you saw, hear what you heard, and how is this different for you now?
It's okay.
It's okay. Is that feeling of relief back again?
Yeah.
Nice.
Plus.
Pick a time where before today you might have experienced some guilt with him. See what you'll see, hear what you hear. Tell me, how is this future event different?
Okay.
Okay, and the feeling from okay is?
It is what it is. I don't know. Whatever.
Okay.
Like, yeah. Like, I guess, yeah.
Good.
It's not a big deal.
Is it safe to say that the feeling of guilt is gone now?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's double check it real quick.
I don't know.
Just, all you got to do is ask your unconscious mind, do I have any feelings of guilt?
Maybe just a little.
Okay, from 1 to 10, 10 is like, oh my God. 1 is like, I kind of feel it, but barely.
Like, 1.
Like a 1.
Yeah.
1 is livable. We can keep the 1 for now.
Okay.
How do you feel?
Lighter.